Hello everybody, welcome to tonight's live stream. Hope you enjoy the music. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Good fun. Good fun. Well, how y'all doing out there, everybody? It's nice to be with you for another live stream. I see a lot of comments from Twitch. I've been streaming on Twitch for just a few weeks now, and no one was watching, but now I think a few people are watching. So g'day to everybody on Twitch. How y'all doing? Clap, clap, clap. Thank you for the claps. All right, I'm switching over to a little electric guitar now. Well, it's actually a full-size electric guitar, but you know what I mean. This song's called Mindless. Here we go. What's up next? And I listen to the endless chatter, knowing it's never gonna matter. Cause when I get to your door and I step into the world waiting for me and you, nothing we need to do or say to be swept away. Mindless, timeless place you take me to, when nothing can reach us, nothing can keep us from the love we melt into. When I get mindless, mindless with you. You know how to flip the switch off, bow down a program and you're lost. And I love the way the silence speaks, telling me all I'm ever gonna need is to be mindless. Mindless with you, timeless place you take me to, when nothing can reach us, nothing can keep us from the love we melt into. When I get mindless, mindless with you.
to. And nothing can reach us, nothing can keep us from the love we melt into. When I get mindless, when I get mindless, I get mindless, mindless with you.
Boom. Great fun. Well, thanks for tuning in and listening to the music. I'm going to be playing for about 45 minutes this evening, I guess. We'll see what songs present themselves. For those of you who are just tuning in, we have a virtual tip jar set up for these live streams, and if you enjoy the music and want to leave a tip, it's very much appreciated. It's not required for admission to the show, but the tip jar link is just joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. And thank you in advance to anybody who leaves a tip. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joe Robinson, and I hail from Australia originally, but I've been living in Nashville for about 12 years now. And I play a mixture of songs and styles. And this is my most recent guitar I acquired. It's from 1943. I just posted a video on my YouTube channel about it. It's really good fun to play. I'm going to play a little Ray Charles, Hit the Road Jack. Let me know if you have any requests out there. better not watch the comments because they distract me. They're so funny. Especially the ones over on Twitch. I would sell my entire bottle cap collection to have his talent. Oh man. Thanks for the kind words, everybody. I'm gonna play a song that features kind of this cool technique of combining the bass and the chords and the melody all together in the one guitar arrangement. That's the goal anyway. And this song kind of breaks it all down. So I'd start off with the bass going like this. Then the backbeat. Oh. And the chords. And then a melody. Something like that. I haven't played that in a while. Let me switch back to a little electric guitar here. I'll play the Strat this time. This guitar gets me into trouble. I play all the notes the other guitars don't have. This song's called Reputation. I see a great request there from Maxine for Genevieve. I'll play that a little later in the stream.
Spent her days and nights living in the fast lane. But time is passing and she wants to slow it down, trying to find a ticket off this merry-go-round, 'cause she only wants to be loved, to feel the joy and the pain? Can't she open her heart? She's got a reputation to maintain. On the outside, things look beautiful. She's surrounded by people who will never know the story hiding in her eyes. Makeup on her face is an everyday disguise, 'cause she only wants to be loved, to feel the joy and the pain. Can she open her heart? She's got a reputation to maintain. She knows
something like that. Forgive me for getting carried away there. I was having a good time. That's the great thing about music, is when you just kind of just get into the flow, which gives me an idea for a song. I have a song called Flow. I need my capo though. This is a newish original song of mine. It's called Flow. Chris says, Flo the progressive girl. That's funny. It's catchy, actually. Flo the progressive girl. I used to have progressive insurance. Not anymore. Someone's asking, is this a real live show? It's real. It's live. Live. All mistakes thrown in, just so you know it's real. I see a cool comment here from Christopher Grant. Our 9-year-old Jack says, "Wow, that's what you get out of practicing so much as Joe. I'm going to pick up my guitar. Thanks for always being inspiring." I love that. Good on you, Jack. Keep up the great work, buddy. I can tell just by that comment that you're gonna do great things. All right, here's a little bit of a song called Byron's Bounce. Well, for those of you who are just tuning in, we do have a virtual tip jar set up for these live stream concerts that I've been doing. If you enjoy the music and want to buy what's in effect a virtual ticket to the show, you can do so at joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. It should be pasted in the video chat description somewhere there. And really appreciate anyone who leaves a tip. It's very, very much appreciated. I'm going to read you a list of my upcoming tour dates, just in case any of y'all listen to me saying you're like a true Nashville person and not an Aussie. It's quite a handy word, to be honest. I'm going to be headed out to Medford, Wisconsin, Watertown, Wisconsin, Lisbon, North Dakota, Mitchell, South Dakota, Kearney, Nebraska. I learned how to pronounce that just the other day. Gallup, New Mexico, Craig, Colorado, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Lewistown, Montana. So if you have any cousins in those cities, tell them to come along to the show. It's going to be a good time. This will be the last live stream I do for a little while, but I'm planning on keeping them going. I just want to be somewhere where I have reliable internet. So, I had a request for Genevieve. This is a song I wrote for my wife. Chris says no San Diego dates. I'm not going to be in San Diego, but I'm going to be close by there, kind of in Orange County, an hour or so north. I don't really know my geography of California that well, but I'm going to be in Orange County in June. So that's the closest I'll be to San Diego.
Down by the river that you like, before we had to say goodbye, I fell for you before I knew your name. The way that the words fell from your lips, the feeling of your soft fingertips on my skin, I've never been the same. All that I need to learn, that I need to see is in your eyes. All that I plead and yearn for this world to give me realize. In this love I believe, Genevieve. Je t'aime, tu es ma joie de vivre. From all that I run, you are my reprieve. Right from the start, this restless heart you tamed. All that I need to learn, that I need to see is in your eyes. All that I plead and yearn, but this world to give me realize. In this love I believe, Genevieve. And every day I know it more and more. You're the one I've been searching for, and I don't even know who I was before you. All that I need to learn, that I need to see is in your eyes. All that I plead and yearn for this world to give me realize. In this love I believe, more than I can conceive. Morning, noon, and eve.
I haven't played this song in a while. I'm going to play my arrangement of Misty. I really enjoy playing this. I arranged it when I was just a kid. I was 17 or so. I was really inspired by a great guitarist named Maton Taylor. Here we do Misty. Thank you, everybody. Well, I said I'd only be playing for 45 minutes, but I kind of feel like I'm going to keep going a little bit longer. So I hope you all are enjoying it. I see some nice comments there. Do let me know if you have any questions about guitar playing, that kind of thing. I'll certainly try to speak to whatever problems you might be having with your playing, or just questions, because that's something I spent a lot of time doing. It's funny because I've been recording a lot this week, and you record until your fingertips get really sore, and then it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from recording, but then I come back to playing and I'm like, oh, I'm really warmed up and my hands are in good shape. It's interesting. I find that recording can be just as good training as playing live on stage or doing live streams. I guess it trains a bit of a different part of your mind or something. How come whenever I strum the guitar it sounds like a wood chopper? A wood chipper. Well, it's funny because whenever I get onto a stage and I have a sound engineer who's never heard me or doesn't know about the way I play or anything, I have to just explain, I don't strum the guitar. I don't sit there and just... Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's a very different touch. It's a very different sound, and requires a bit of a different approach on the PA. I need him to turn it way up so that I can control the dynamics with my hands. It's an interesting thing because if a sound engineer is quite conservative with the volume, that can really make it difficult to play in terms of, if I have a lot of volume, I can play very softly, and I can dig in. But if the volume's very soft, then all I can do is play kind of at the peak of my volume. So anyway, end of rant. Interesting question from Paul. Unfortunately, my guitar practice will be cut short due to shoulder surgery due to a cycling accident. I'm really sorry to hear that, Paul. I hope your surgery goes well. Would you say that learning to sing helps with guitar playing? Absolutely. I think learning to sing, working on writing songs, and you can write songs on a computer keyboard, or I often write songs using Guitar Pro, the software. But you can certainly make progress on your playing by not playing, even just by listening to great songs, listening to great people, and just being inspired. And it is, I think, good to take a little bit of a break from playing. And my inclination, if I had to go through some kind of surgery, would be to just take a break, take 6 months off, or however long I was advised to rest. But singing I think, is definitely a good skill to be able to have. I gotta tell myself to sing more when I'm playing these streams. I'm like, I probably should sing a song, because not everyone just wants to hear guitar music all night. Here's an interesting question from Rosemary Clark. When you write your songs, do you have lyrics in mind to go along with your song? That's a great question. I find that melodies come really easy to me, and lyrics take a lot of work to craft. And once it's kind of like you have a good idea for a lyric, and then to get that idea to be interesting enough and to be poetic enough and to feel finished and exactly the way you meant it to come across, I find that takes a long time. And the people that I've been around with who are really great songwriters by trade, they will say things like, good writing is rewriting. So they'll rewrite a verse all these different ways and different times to get it to be just right. And I find that if you have a good title, a good name for the song, writing the lyrics on that is, then that can just focus the whole song in a way that makes it way easier. Dave says, Squirrely Dave Carter says, I'm currently studying Mark Knopfler style. What do you think of the concept of playing lead with just your fingers and any diastrates? I love Mark Knopfler's playing. He's just such a wonderful musician with such great feel. and great songwriter and great artist and everything. What do you think of the concept of playing lead with just your fingers? Oh yeah, you don't need to use a pick at all. If I'm in the studio and I'm trying to get an overdub guitar solo and I find I'm overplaying, which happens sometimes, I'm just putting too many notes in there, I'll just put the pick down and use my fingers, and I'll find that I'll play with a little more taste. Can I play any Dire Straits? I've been working on a version of Sultans of Swing because so many people ask for it.
Get a shiver in the dark, it's a raining in the park, but meantime, down through the river you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double form time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring.
Etc. That's coming soon. That's a really great question. Do you think lots of people die with music inside of them, as in never actually try to be a musician because societal pressure against them? Well, I think that everybody has music in them. I think there's probably some people who just don't like music, and I've occasionally met people who are like, I don't really like music, I'm just not interested in it, and that's fair enough. But I think everyone has a song, everyone has melodies, and everyone has a different set of influences and tastes and different type of musicality. So I think everybody who scratches the itch of learning an instrument does them a self-service by just revealing what kind of music is inside of them, because I think it's in everybody. I see a request for Emily or Into the Blue. I haven't played those songs in so long. I would really have to practice them. I'm sorry. There's lots of questions. Do you have any tips for playing and singing at the same time? Singing murders my rhythm. Well, playing with a metronome is great practice for the rhythm. And I don't know. I heard that Sting, when he's practicing, Sting's one of my favorite musicians, when he's practicing his vocal and his bass, because bass is such a rhythmic instrument. With guitar, you can kind of play a chord and then sing something, but with bass, you kind of have to be very present in the groove. So it's a little more difficult to play bass and sing, I think. And what Sting says he does is he'll take one bar of a song or one line of a lyric, and he'll play that slowly with a metronome over and over again just to get that one line to be as perfectly in the pocket. And maybe the vocals laid back a little and the bass is right on the beat. But really, I think people underestimate how small a bite-sized chunks you have to break a song down into learn it. Like, you're hearing me play all this music, and these are songs I've played many, 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 many times. And every song has been a lot of practice to get it up to performance standards. So it's important to remember that. And when you listen to someone who's improvising, like some of my songs have improvising in it, I've spent a lot of time improvising, and you hear someone like Keith Jarrett improvising, and it's just such an amazing experience hearing someone who's just so comfortable in that state. It's really inspiring. Here's a good question. I saw this come up before from YouTube. Hey Joe, what would you say the main difference between your signature guitar and Tommy Emmanuel's in terms of tone? That's a very good question. I mean, I really highly recommend playing the guitars in person if you can. It's really worth it. Go into a store or a dealer. On Maton's website, they have a list of their dealers, and I know they are difficult to get depending on where you are in the world. Supply chain problems, as well as Maton are having trouble keeping up with the demand because there's so much demand for the guitars all over the world. And they still make them in Australia, which I think is just fantastic. The difference between my guitar and Tommy's, the main difference in tone is going to be the tone woods. So my guitar has Tasmanian myrtle back and sides, which looks like this. Beautiful tone wood. And Tommy's has Queensland maple. And so the maple is a little bit of a smoother sound, and the myrtle is a little bit of a punchier sound, a little bit more aggressive. I think that's the best way to describe it. They're both really great instruments, and they're both just the kind of workhorse guitar that I find all Matons are. I think they're made really consistently, and they are just great. Took up guitar lesson last year in lockdown at age 63. Any advice? Well, if you just took it up last year, I always feel if you're at that stage of your first couple years of playing, just playing a little bit each day, 20 minutes each day is enough to make consistent progress. And if you make yourself a bit of a plan, a roadmap, and there's lots of different ways to go about putting together a roadmap, but I would suggest maybe finding a teacher. You can find a teacher online, you can find courses online, you can even just go about it yourself. If you know what songs you want to learn, just try to find songs that are a little bit out of your comfort zone but not too much, and just maybe try to set a goal to learn a couple of new songs each month, and keep a list of all the songs you know, keep a list of the chords you know, and just keep building to it and keep adding to it a little bit each day. And yeah, just showing up to play a little bit. You'll be shocked if you play for 30 minutes a day, and you can take a few days off here and there, of course, but if you play for 30 minutes a day for a year, you'll be just amazed at how much. I'm amazed at how much I can accomplish with a good little daily routine. I've been playing guitar for years, but I feel stuck. What do you recommend doing in these cases? Well, I recommend seeking inspiration. We need to find inspiration and inspiring people to stay motivated and to stay inspired and to get ideas and to just get us thinking in different ways, because if we get into a rut, then we need to find a way to get out of that. And I find that finding inspiration is the best way to do that. And inspiration can be finding a player or a style or a song or a recording that you can just listen to and set it all for yourself to learn. And I think it's the same advice, just playing a little bit each day, making a plan, trying to push yourself out of your comfort zone a little. The sweet spot is you want to be just learning enough, but not too out of your depth that you feel lost. Do your guitars, this is a great question from Jenny May, do your guitars have a narrow neck so you can use your thumb? Well, my Maton guitars have a pretty slim neck, and electric guitars that I play have a pretty slim neck, although the Strat back there has got a big fat neck, and this Gibson has a huge neck. It's massive, because there's no truss rod in it. Well, there's no adjustable truss rod at least, so the neck is really big. But I find that bigger necks are actually more comfortable because your hand's not as constricted. You have more to grip onto. But it does take a while to get the thumb used to playing notes with the left hand. It depends on how long you've been playing for and how long it takes to develop a new... It's like, you remember when you learnt a new chord? Remember the first time you learnt B7 as a beginner? That's the same thing about... It's the same experience when you're learning to use the thumb on the left hand. You just got to train the thumb to do it. And it's good to stretch your hands before you play all the time. I stretch every time before I play and practice. And if you get the hand to be really relaxed and start incorporating that thumb a little bit, it'll become more and more comfortable as you do it a little bit. So there we go. I'll answer a couple more questions and then I've got to wrap it up. What advice would you give someone who's been totally self-taught for 20 years? That's a great question. I've been self-taught for about 20 years now as well. I had guitar lessons for the first year or so. I learned basic folk songs and that was a really great way to get into playing and fall in love with the instrument. If you've been totally self-taught for 20 years, it really depends on what your goals are and what you feel like you want to improve. I think the goal of a musician is to just keep improving at a steady level. It's not realistic to expect to just learn a million new things in 1 week and then not learn any, and then just kind of come back 6 months later and learn a bunch more. I think a much better way is to just constantly chip away at it and expect that it's going to take a long time. So if you've been playing for a long time and been self-taught, then keep learning. Find ways to learn. There's so many great resources out there now. I have a lot of great resources. I don't want to just sell you on my resources here, but you go to my website, joerobinson.com/courses, and I have a series of fingerstyle guitar courses that are very popular. And if you use the links on my website, you'll get the best price. And I don't offer private lessons. But I do have a Guitar Synergy channel, which is a membership channel. It costs $15 a month, and you can message me and send me videos of yourself playing. It kind of functions in the same way. And we also have a Zoom call attached to that, so you can get on a Zoom call and ask me questions if you want. That's kind of how I'm doing it right now. All right, one more question. What scale should I learn for fingerstyle on an acoustic? That's an excellent question from Lurk. So I think the scales to learn are the major scale. That's really the primary scale. If you learn the major scale all up and down the neck, that'll really serve you well, because the major scale has the same notes as the natural minor scale. So C major scale has the same notes as A minor, natural. And so you've just learned two scales in one by learning the major scale. And then all the modes are in the major scale. So if you get used to playing the major scale, just get so comfortable with it, learn it in double stops. Learn it on one string. And then you can learn the harmonic minor. And the different modes and get more comfortable with them. But I think the major scale is really underrated. And I think for the majority of people, you just can't spend enough time practicing that. It's just great to get so comfortable with it that you really know how to play in any key. And that would be what I would say. So there's more good questions. What advice would you give to someone starting a YouTube channel playing fingerstyle? That's a very interesting question, because there's a lot of other people that are more successful at it than me, and I look at them and think, man, there's something to be said for what some of these folks do, and they get so many views. I think if you just post good performances consistently, people will find out about them. I post 2 videos a week, and honestly, that's a real challenge. It's really difficult, and it's definitely not easy, but it's a beautiful thing to share your music with people. And I think that anybody can start a YouTube channel, anybody can post online, and even if you're just early on in your musical journey, it's still great to share your music and share your journey with people. I would say don't be afraid of doing that. People are understanding and nice and kind, and well, people can be jerks, but who cares? At the end of the day, people are going to do that. But for me, I was on YouTube in 2006, way back when. I wish I was more consistent with it. But I just put up videos of me playing my original songs in my bedroom, and then just kept adding to my channel. And here I am. I'm going to hit 100,000 subs soon. So thanks very much for watching today's stream, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to anybody who contributed to the virtual tip jar. And wish you all the best with your playing. And see you all again really soon. Take it easy. Have a good rest of you. Well, have a good weekend. I know it's the weekend already down in Australia.